In this e-learning tutorial, we are going to learn about the exceptions in Python. So, what is meant by an exception? So, exception means is nothing but, so whenever we are going to write a program, so we often do some mistakes. So, it will be end up with some making some errors. So, there are many types of errors that can be occurs in a program. So these errors can be caused by writing an improper syntax, which can be termed it as an syntax error or parsing error. So these also we call it as a compile time errors. So errors can also occur at a runtime, and these runtime errors we can call it as exceptions. So there are various types of runtime errors in the Python. Now let us take an example, consider an example here. Whenever I am going to open a file, the file which does not exist, so at that time we are going to get a file not found error. So this is a type of error. So next one is, you already see it in C and Java in the division by 0. So suppose division by 0 in this, which is 5 divided by 0 means, so we will be getting the, so at the time the 5 will not divided by 0, so at the time we will be getting the 0 division error. So when a module we are trying to import, this module which does not exist, at the time also we will be getting an import error. So these are all some of the examples for the exceptions. So the Python created exception object for every occurrence of these runtime errors. Here the user must have to write a piece of code to handle the particular error. If it is not capable of handling an error means, the program prints a traceback to that error along with the details of why the error has been occurred. So let us consider an example for the compile time error and the 0 division error. Here I am going to assign a value a equal to 3, and here I am going to if statement I have used. Here what I have been used, here it is a semicolon, it is missing in this particular statement. So it shows it is an invalid syntax. So this is a compile time error. The next one is a 0 division error. As already I said you, the 5 is divided by 0. So the integer division or a module by the 0, it shows an error like this. Here the exception handling for any unexpected error in a Python program also adds a debug capabilities to them. So this is some of the built-in exceptions. So any error-prone statements can raise an exceptions. So the various built-in functions in Python that can be raised when the corresponding error can be occur. So this is the list of the errors. Whenever the input function is wrong, it's the end of file error. Then floating point error, the floating point operation is fails. If the close operation is not closed properly at the time generator exists. Then already I said you in the example, that is an import error. If import module is not found, then index error means the index range is not in a range. At the time we will be getting an index error. The key error in the sense, whenever the key is not found in a dictionary, at the time we will be getting this key error. The next, memory error, name error, then not implemented error, runtime error. When an error does not falls under any category, at the time we will be getting an runtime error. Then syntax error means when a syntax error is encountered, syntax as already I said you, for in if statement we have been in the semicolon that we have missed, so that time we will be getting an syntax error. The next one is an indentation error. That is, if statement means we need to give some space tab for the next line, and for or something, that is the indentation error can be occurred. Likewise, we have the number of then 0 division error, value error, unique code decode error. So these are all some of the built-in exceptions that is available in the Python. Now how we are going to handle the exceptions? Whenever an exception occurs in the program, what it will do, it stops the current process and passes it to the calling process until it is to be handled. If there is no piece of code to handle the particular exception, then the program will get to be the crash. Now let us consider an examples for how to handle that exception. We having a function called as an A, the A which calls another function called as a B, and which in turn calls another function as a C. So the A function, B, and we have the three functions. A calls B and B calls C. Here suppose if exception occurs in an C, C means, but it is not handled, the exception is not handled in C means the exception is going to pass it to the B. It's also going to check whether the exception is handled over here. It is not handled in the B means it is also what it going to do is it is going to pass it to the A. Here also the exception is not handled means the error message is displayed and the program will be comes to a halt. So this is the way where we are going to handle the exceptions. Now let us see how to catch these exceptions. So the exceptions can be handled by using the try statement. The operation which can raise an exception, we are going to place it inside the try class. The code that handle the exception which could be returned in the except class. So this is the syntax for handling the try. So try means your operations of code here, and here it is an except exception 1. Then if this part of exception means this particular block of statement will be get executed. If this part of exception means this part will be get executed. If nothing, this two part is not means, so it will be go for an else part. So if there is no exception, then execute this block. If no exception can be occur, then the else part will be get executed. This is a single try statement can have the multiple except statement as you previously seen in syntax, and it also provides a generic except class which handles any type of exceptions. After the except class, it can include we have included an else part. The code in the else block executes if the code in the try block does not raise, and whenever the exception is not raised at the time only the else part will be get executed. Now let us see an example for this. Here what I have when I am going to opening the file test file, here I am going to open it in the access mode is the write mode. Here I have added the try and the except block. If the required file is not found means, or we don't have any permission to write the particular file means, exception is going to be raised. Here the exception is handled by using the except block. So that is here in except block what I have mentioned here, it is error. It can't find the file or read the data. If suppose the file is don't have the permission in the writing mode means, so this error will be get displayed. If nothing means, so the else block will be get, here it does not have any error, so it will be printed as return the content in the file successfully. So the file is also available and also it is written it in the writing mode, so the written content in the file is successfully. This is else block will be get executed. After that I am going to close the particular file. So this is an example for that we are how to going to handle the exceptions in the try except block. Then except with no exception. Here we can also write our try except class with no exception. All types of exception that occur are caught by the try except statement because it catches all the exception. The program cannot identify the root cause of the problem that may occur. Hence, this programming approach is not considered to be a good one. If you don't have any except blocks, so we don't know the root cause of the problem, why this particular error has been occurred. Usually, so this is the syntax of this here. Here the try except statement catches here all the exceptions that occur. So it can't able to identify the root cause of the problem that may be occur here. The next one is an except with multiple exceptions. Here in Python, we can also use the same except statement for handling the multiple exceptions in the one statement. So here this is the syntax. This is a try block. In exception statement, we are going to mention it in a bracket with a square bracket, that is exception 1, then comma exception 2. That means here the block of statement will be get executed. If not raised on any exception, here the else block will be get executed. This is a way that we are going to use multiple exceptions in the except class. The next one is try finally class. Here the finally block is an optional in the try block statement, try block code. The finally class will always be executed by the interpreter whenever the try statement raises an exception or the not, the finally block will be get executed. It cannot use an else class along with the finally class. So if we are going to use an finally class, we can't able to use an else class. So whatever it may be, whether it raising an exception or it not going to raise an exception, the finally block will be executed compulsory. So this is a syntax over here. Then try. Here due to any exception, this may be skipped out here. The except block is not available here. This finally block will always get to be executed. So this is a syntax for using the try finally class. Then let us see an example for this. Here what I have considered is I am going to open a file, test file, in the mode called as an writing mode, where I am going to write the file. Write this file. This is my test file for exception handling, and what I am going to do is a finally block. I am going to print, going to close the file, and I am going to close. I am going to raise an except the IO error here. So what I said you is the finally block will always be get executed whenever it raises an exception or it did not raise an exception. So the output here we can going to say is going to close the file. Whatever that is in the finally block is going to be get executed. So see, when an exception is thrown in the try block, an execution immediately passes here through the finally block. After all the statements in the finally block are executed, the exception is here after only this finally blocks is executed, only this exception part is raised again and is handled in the exception statement if present in the next higher level of the try exception statement. So this is the way that we are going to use. The next one is an exceptions with the arguments. So here an exception can have an argument which is a value that gives an additional information about the problem. The content of an argument may be varied by the exception. So this is a syntax for exceptions with argument. Here we are having the try block, and here then except exception what type. Here we are going to argument, and you can print the value for whatever this we are going to pass it over here. So if you are going to write the code to handle the exceptions, can have the variable which follow the name of the exception in the exception statement. If you are defining the multiple exceptions over here in this block, we are going to define a variable after the tuple of the excepts. For each exception I am going to define a variable, and I am going to mention it over the what type of exception is going to mention here. So this is an example for exceptions with argument. So here I am going to define a function which is called as an temp convert. Here I am going to pass an argument called as an var. So here what I am going to do is in the try block I am going to return this particular var which is an int value. Here I am going to in except block the value error what it is I am going to show here. It is the argument does not contain the numbers. So whenever I am going to call a function over here, so this var is I have mentioned here is an integer. Suppose if I am going to pass it as a string value, so at the time it will be shows the argument does not contain the numbers. It is an invalid literal for an int with the base 10, that is only the integer can be passed over here. The string is not allowed here. So this is a way that we can able to handle the exceptions with the argument. The next one is user defined exceptions. So user defined exceptions is we are going to define their own exceptions by creating the new classes. So the exceptions is to be a derived or direct or indirectly from the exceptions class. So here defining an exception is pretty easy in the Python. So now let's take an example how we are going to create a user defined functions. Now I am going to create a class. Here I am going to define a class name as a custom error and particular type of exception, whatever the statement that I am going to here. Then I am going to raise here the, if I am going to raise this custom error means it will be sent the traceback of most recent call in the list. So this is an output that we are going to display it over here. So in the next tutorial we are going to learn about the classes and object in detail about in the Python. So thank you. To know the latest videos, if you not already subscribed this channel, then please consider subscribing right away. Behind to that, press the bell icon to receive the notification of latest videos. Like, share and your comments. Thanks for watching.